Okay, we'll be looking at human resource and communication management in this particular slide, or in this particular training is a continuation of what we have been doing. Okay, now we have the plan human resource management. What is human resource management? It contains the process of to organize, manage, and lead people on the project team. Now, one of the things that we talked about, one of the things that we spoke about when we are looking at the skill of a project manager, we stated that one major skill that project manager must possess is interpersonal skill. Okay, it helps the project manager to manage people around him. So when we talk about human resource management plan, we're looking at how to organize, manage, and lead the people around that project team. Okay. Now, human resource management plan is a subsidiary plan of the project management plan. It defines the project role, responsibility, required risk, scale, reporting relationships, staff management plan for the project. Okay. Now, the plan human resource management process identifies and documents the people's roles, responsibilities, and necessary skills and reporting relationship, and create a staffing plan for the project. Input, we have the project management plan, activity, resource, requirement, enterprise environmental factors, and organizational process assets. Now, tools and tech, we have the organizational chart and positional description, networking, organizational theory, we have expert judgment meetings. Now, the output at the end of the day will be human resource management plan. Okay, so previous component provide the plan human resource management process. Previous component provide inputs to the human resource management plan. They include project management plan, activity resource requirement, enterprise environmental factors, and organizational process assets. Okay, now those things we have already discussed in detail. Now we have tools and tech. There are 5 tools and tech used in the human resource management plan. Human resource management process. They include organizational chart and position description, networking, organizational theory, expert judgment, and meetings. Now, these are organizational chart and position. This is the project manager. He has the team leaders. Then we have the team members down here. Okay. We have this is organizational chart showing the hierarchy of the project team. Now we have the roles description. For this person, we have his role, his responsibility, and his authority level. Now we have the RAM, the responsibility matrix. Okay, what we call RAM. So here you have things and people that are responsible for them. Okay. Now, organizational theory maximizing efficiency, maximizing productivity, problem solving, meeting stakeholders requirements. Now, for each organization, there are ways that an organization does their thing that has to do with their culture and other things. But at the end of the day, we want to be able to maximize efficiency. We want to be able to maximize productivity. We want to be able to enhance problem solving and meet stakeholders' requirements. Okay. Now, guideline to plan human resource management. We have reviewed the project management plan for information on the project lifecycle and how work will be completed and controlled. Review the activity resource requirement for the type and quantities of resources. Review the enterprise environmental factors. Review the organizational process assets, such as organizational processes, policies, rule description, templates, lesson learned, and escalation procedure for teams issues. Use organizational chart and positional description, networking, organizational theory, expert judgment, and meetings to develop the human resource management plan. Then create the human resource management plan. This is a scenario. So you look at this and you answer the questions that follow. Okay, now this one has to do with communication management. So let's take a dive into it and look at what it entails. So project managers spend a great deal of time of their time communicating with project team members and the project stakeholders. These communication can be formal or internal, formal or informal, internal or external, formal or informal, vertical or horizontal, official or non-official, oral or written, verbal or non-verbal. Now, I believe we understand internal or external, internal to the project or external to the project, formal or informal. Okay. Vertical has to do with people from different cadre, from different hierarchy in the organization. Horizontal has to do with people at the same hierarchy in the organization, official or non-official, written or oral, and so on and so forth. Now, this is a communication management plan. We have key stakeholders. Okay, what are you giving to them as information? Okay, communication methods. We have project kickoff meetings, extranets. Okay, then we have frequency start of the project, the extranet ongoing, then responsibility, project management office, project management office also. Then we have notes. We have both team and kickoff meetings meetings recommended. Then for the extranet, we have include project schedule, okay, key product deliverable, meeting minutes change. Now for the extranet, these are things that you send maybe through the organizational network this thing that you pass, how you pass information to each of them. Now for client executive, client sponsor, team development, client managers, client sponsor, key client stakeholders. These are their own communication methodologies, communication frequencies, responsibilities, and notes. Okay. Now, communication management process identifies and documents the ways in which the project team will communicate effectively and efficiently and effectively with the stakeholders. Okay, input, you have the project management plan, resource activity, resource requirements, enterprise environmental factors, and organizational process assets. Tools and tech, you have organizational charts and position description, networking, organizational theory, expert judgment, meetings. Output at the end of the day, you have a human resource management plan. Okay, various components provide input to the plan communication management process, including project management plan, stakeholders register, enterprise environmental factors, and organizational process assets. Okay, there are 5 tools and tech used in plan communication management process. Communication requirement analysis, communication technology, communication models, communication methods, okay, and meetings. Let me see if they talked about each of them. So let's take them one after the other. Now, communication requirement analysis is an investigation that leads to a clear articulation of the stakeholders' communication needs, helps the project manager make effective choices regarding the technology to be recommended, taking in a form of grid, questionnaire, or survey that documents the communication and technology requirements for each stakeholder. Now, communication technologies, the choice of what communication technology to be used depends on the urgency of the need for information, the availability to technology, the ease of use, and the project environment, and the sensitivity and confidentiality of the information. Now, communication models are used to facilitate communication and information exchange. There are 5 steps to a standard communication. We have encoding. You have something to say, you have something as an idea, you need to put it in a language format or in a written format so that the person that receives it will be able to understand it. Then when you have done that, you will now transmit the message to the receiver, understand? And the means of transmitting must be efficient and effective. Now, decoding is whereby the receiver have received it and is able to open up the message and unwrap the meanings he derives from that message. You understand? It's possible for somebody to say something and somebody understands it differently. So communication is not complete until the listener understands the message the way the speaker has it in his heart. Okay, so decoding is the process of unraveling that message that was sent by the speaker or the sender. Okay, then acknowledgement, you must do that, whereby you tell the person that I have received this message. Then you now give feedback or response. Okay, having received this message, this is what I think about what was said or what we are discussing. Okay, now communication methods. Okay, how do you pass this information? We have interactive, where you communicate with the person if you want one-on-one or in a group, and in interactive, there's turn taking when you speak. A lot of people don't know how to do interactive communication. They just come and they talk, and after they've done talking, they end the meeting and they walk away. That is not an interactive session. Interaction, you must give turn to the next person so that the next person will speak as well. Okay, when you talk, you wait so that the person that listens to you will hear, understand, and give you a response before you continue again. So there is turn taking in interactive communication. Then the push communication is a situation whereby you disseminate information to people, like maybe sending them an email or sending them a WhatsApp post, or just pass information to people in a large scale. Okay, like maybe in a radio or a television or a newspaper, just pass information and people will access it. Then pull communication is a situation whereby you put information in a particular place, maybe in a company's database, that when people want it, they go there and they collect it. Okay, so communication is put together. Okay, this may be something like a notice board or the communication data, the organization's database, or a library or something of information where people can go and they receive the information that they need to carry out or execute the work. Okay, guideline to plan communication management. Okay, gather and distribute contact information for all in the involved parties. Determine the communication need of the project stakeholders. As a rule of thumb, project team members require more detail on a more frequent basis. Senior management typically requires summary information on a less frequent basis. Analyze the value to the project of providing the information. Evaluate any constraint and assumption to determine their possible impact on the communication planning. Determine the appropriate communication methodologies to use for communicating project information. Make sure your communication management plan includes all key elements. Integrate the communication management plan into the overall project plan. Distribute the plan to project managers, project stakeholders. Okay. So this is a scenario question. You look at this and you answer the questions that follows. Okay. And that's the end of this particular slide.